All right, Rippers, I'm back. I've been over on the other channel trying to get things figured out over there and figured out why it's not uploading videos or why it won't process. It's like 3 times now, and it just doesn't like that video, right? And I'm not too sure why, so I'm going to go ahead and remake it. It was a fairly long video, but it was a really great video. So if you guys haven't seen it over at Readiness at the range, go over there and subscribe, share, like. Let's get that out there. Let's grow that thing too, because there's some really great things that I'm showing over there, really great things I'm sharing, really great skills, tips, tactics, just whatever. It's kind of a variety of gun lovers' paradise, or whatever you want to call it, right? That being said, it is, well, it's just been frustrating, right? Because YouTube's out there. And honestly, I've been kind of busy doing the things too, right? That we all should be. And I think some of us are. I notice a lot of people out there aren't doing quite as many videos maybe, and some of the people out there in chat seem to be busy doing the things they need to be doing. And that's a good thing. Speaking of that, because I've been doing that, working on the streamlining and finding things that, oh, I didn't know I had one of those, because that's what we do in a disposable lifestyle that we've become accustomed to, and times are good. Now that times are bad, people are starting to not say, well, I know I have that somewhere. Do I dig for it or go get a new one? Well, you dig for it, right? So after years of doing that, like we all have, well, I'm finding things that are quite interesting that I'm glad I have. And while I was out, I still was able to, get in the things that we need to do, which we do need to, because if you go out there, you can notice that here and there, and depending on the area you're in, well, things are getting short and hard to find. And there's a lot of reasons for that. There's those ships floating around out there outside of wherever over east, where they can't get through the canal or seem to unload themselves. I don't know how we did this for decades, but now we can't figure it out, right? It's like just a big old CF, you know what I mean? So that being said, that's holding it up. You've got, farmers and ranchers and stuff like that that are being subsidized to, to till their crops under coal game, or not sell it or whatever, but just not put it out there to the public, right? And then we've got planes that seem to have these special magnets on them that draw them in to land on top of packing plants. My solution would be take those magnets off of those things, but I'm saying that in jest. While you have to look at this with humor, it's not funny, and it's serious, right? Especially when you start looking at the numbers. People look at it and they have such short memories that they think, oh, that just was 1 or 2. But when you look into it, there's been 20 in a short period of time. That's ridiculous, right? That is something that you have to look at it and go, that can't help but to affect the economy. Even if it's not an SHTF thing and you take all the doom and gloom out of it, that is absolutely going to cause prices to rise. And with everything else rising out there, we can't afford it. So we got to be thinking smarter and not harder, right? So that being said, or maybe both, just saying. Anyway, I was out at Harbor Freight. I love that store. I was picking up those little rare earth magnets that I put on flashlights that I've shown you guys in past videos. If you haven't seen those, go take a look. Oh, and by the way, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, right? And get it out there, especially hitting the like button. That only takes a second, doesn't even interrupt a video. Subscribing, same thing. Be sure to hit the bell so you get notifications. Well, get out there and share it, because that's the one important thing that I make sure to take the time to do each day whenever I'm thinking about it or whenever I can. And it's usually trying to do it multiple times a day, as you guys know. But not so much it's annoying, of course. But if I see a good video that was well done, that has some great stuff in it, and great people, if it's alive in the live, I'll post it out there so that you guys too can enjoy it and get the benefit that I got from it. So if we do that on all of our social media platforms, it's good for everyone, right? Anything we can do to end division and bring everybody together, well, it's amazingly important right now, and it will absolutely help shortly. So that being said, be sure to do that. Thank you. I appreciate it. And if you ever have any comments, put them down in the comment section. I appreciate all your guys' comments. Having some issues over on the other channel, the Readiness at the range. Like I was saying, it's not uploading videos for some reason, so I'm going to have to make remake a really good video about gas pedals and guns, right? That's interesting, right? You want to see that. So if you're not signed up over there, go get signed up over at Readiness at the range. If you are, stay tuned. I'm going to remake it and hopefully YouTube will let that one go through. I don't know what I said or did in there, and while I don't agree or think that I should have to censor myself, well, honestly, we also have to be smart, right? Art of war, right? It doesn't, just because, I mean, let's face it, we all, when we click I agree to the terms of service, agree to a platform that is here designed to make money, not for itself, but others to make money on, to make money for them. And it's their platform, their rules. We agree to them every time, or else we don't get to use it. Now, if we really wanted to be truly, you know, I guess some people claim it's not patriotic to compromise or to censor yourself. You know, I think I do a pretty good job of getting the point across without getting dinged hard or anything like that. So, you know, my thing is really by signing or agreeing to the terms of service, you're actually doing that to start with. And really what you're doing is no different than what some people do with using code words or, you know, just reading the articles or putting up the article and highlighting it as they talk about their opinions and not say the words. It's no different than that, right? This is about basically getting in with your enemy to be able to get over your enemy, if you know what I mean. Now, hopefully, if Elon holds true and all of that stuff goes well and he's a man of his word and he's what we think he might be, and he lets people speak freely out there, because a lot of things he's been saying are really spot on. But, you know, America's got a trust issue right now, and you know what? They should. So that being said, as long as he follows through with that, I think I see change coming. And I think if we're smart, we want to get the word out there as much as we can and direct people over to where we can talk more freely, right? It's the whole reason why they got rid of a Discord that I was part of, you know, over there at Frugal, is because we were getting together and talking like good, respectful, kind people that were meeting and things like that. And they weren't, you know, whatever their reason was for it, you know, as far as, oh, stay tuned, there's some good stuff coming. But no matter what their reason was, as far as, oh, they thought people were in there plotting or planning, that wasn't the case at all. But aside from that, what they were truly afraid of is the fact that people were just meeting and not fighting and getting along and making groups that actually were meeting in states on a regular basis, and probably to this day still are, right? And they couldn't have that, so they took it down, right? That is what happens when you don't be smart about how you play their game, because they can come do that for any reason at any time, quite honestly. And when they do, it's our job to get out there and speak loudly in the streets and be heard. But we've got to be able to communicate, and this is just one of the ways we do. So don't be knocking on anybody on here for trying to get the word out and direct you towards other places, whether that's a free website that you can go to read the articles not uncensored, or the information, or see the you know, just like when you're in school and you do your report, right? You have your sources, right? So you can list all those sources. You just compiled it and gave it from your opinion and your thoughts to spur on thought, right? So to make people think, right? Because people don't want to do that anymore. People have become lazy. So when you've got those people out there that are bringing these things on, it's not conspiratorial. It's to make people think and to take the time. They're making it easy for you to go out and find where this information was from, and for yourself decide if it is legit or not and how you should respond or act to it, right? Right. So anyway, now to the fun stuff. Was at Harbor Freight, got those magnets for doing some more magnet customizations, right? If there's any cool ones, we'll put them out on this channel. And I realized I was out of 9mm Nitro Gloves, because when the whole coof thing was going on, of course, these were either being given away to all the hospitals, which is awesome, and to healthcare workers, but at the same time, people were buying them up, so they disappeared just like that. And they really, at a time, most people don't know it, but Harbor Freight wasn't even sending them out to their stores. They were sending them all to medical and treatment places and health workers that were on the front line of the whole coof thing, right? And it doesn't matter if you believe in the COOF or not, because this is actually an example of, it doesn't matter if it's real or not or whatever. The fact is, it's really affecting things, right? And that's what we need to plan for, right? Because that's how issues happen, right? Just like what's now happening, like we just talked about with this whole supply chain thing. So that being said, I got myself some more of the 9mm ones. These are great because they're textured. You can actually work with things. You can feel things. They're tough. They don't rip. They don't tear. They don't poke easy. But they will poke through, but not easy. And they last a while. So when it says disposable, like you can wear these for a few days. If you know, and you can even, like I take mine at the end. I would just wash my hands like I didn't have gloves on, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So you got to get these 9mm ones. These are the heavy duty ones, kind of things like cops wear and stuff like that. Good stuff. Not super expensive. Like this was size, well, they're size medium, but hopefully they fit. I should have looked at that, huh? I might have to take those with me and see if they had large. But anyway, they are, let's see, these were like under $10, right? Okay, so that being said, the other thing that we know, oh, and I saw one of these on sale right here. It's one of these crank radios from Wally World, so, you know, why not? They only had one. I figured I'm going to throw this into my little girl's little car kit that I make for them, which we'll go over here, because I'm finding the stuff to put in that as well as I'm going through and organizing, right? So we've got the Life Gear Wally World crank radio. It has a radio and a siren and a light and different functions on the lights, 100 lumens, at AM, FM. I think it even probably has the weather radio on there. It doesn't take batteries or anything like that. And you can also charge your phone off of it. So that's another handy thing to have. So anyhow, now this is one thing that I know we all know, but ammo, if you didn't hear, anywhere, it's kind of a wide range, anywhere from 20% to 40% of all the ammo that was being purchased in the U.S. was the cheap Russian stuff that was coming over. Well, it's not coming over anymore. And even the stuff that was pre-bought that we knew would kind of trickle through until it was gone, at least, they seized a boat of like 100 million rounds, Russia did, and kept it from coming over here. So that says a lot of things. You make your own opinions on that, put them in the comment section, but I think it says a lot of things. And one of the things it says real loud and clear is ammo is going to start thinning out as the local manufacturers in the States try to catch up, right? So if you've got things, now I wouldn't say that doesn't mean go out there and rush and raid unless you just don't have any and you're still stockpiling, right? Because the prices are going to get kind of crazy, and I'm not sure if they'll come back down for a while. I don't know. But what I will say is I decided if I see some of the things that are harder to get that I have on for a good price, then I'm going to go ahead and pick those up. And they had a great price on this 22 TCM. If you don't know what that round is, it's a handgun round that's a high velocity, kind of along the lines of the 5.7, but it's a bigger bullet, heavier, and more powder. And this one has a fatter case behind it, right? So it's awesome. It's basically like a 9mm nail gun brass that was necked down to a 22 caliber bullet. So, and it's a 40 grain jacketed hollow point, right? And I have this in 22 TCM and 22 TCM-R, which fits in a Glock, right? That you can make, that's a 22 TCM-R. So not something you see all the time. It was a decent price. I think it was like roughly around 60 cents a round or something like that for 100 rounds, right? It might even be a little better than that. So I couldn't believe it because there's other things like 22. Some of those are more expensive. So I got that. That was at Sportsman's. Also at Sportsman's, they didn't even have it marked. They had it thrown in with different ammunition, and it was still at the old price. So check your Sportsman's. But the 22 Super Magnum that I told you about, or Super Maximum, the new 1700 feet per second ammo that changes the 22 altogether. I mean, that's getting right close to some of the lighter to mid 22 Magnum rounds out of a 22 rimfire, man. So this is a great ammo, and if you can get it, I would get it. These were like $8 a box, so I got 5 boxes of those because I needed to, and also at Sportsman's they had an inexpensive, believe it or not, because it's weird, like this box was like $28 or something like that for 50 rounds of 32 ACP, which you know is expensive. Yet their boxes right next to it, and all the other stores were $49 a box. Crazy, right? So I got some 32 range dynamic, and then just because I wanted a high velocity light 380 round, this is a lot like the Liberty ammunition as well for 380 auto. As you know, 380 is also going to become hard to find. Oops, I just ripped that. But this has got a super light. Theirs is copper, I believe, where Liberty is like some sort of alloy, but it's a super deep, super light hollow point that basically will come apart like fiercely when it impacts. It's made for not penetration, but for no over penetration. So it goes in, hits, dumps it slowed. That's right, I said that. And you know, there you have it. So, and they really pump these things out here. These are, it's a 50 grain, what they call extreme. And let's see if they give a velocity. Yes, 1,500 feet per second out of a 380. That's not too bad. Pushing a 50 grain extreme round. So it's only a 20 round box, but it wasn't too bad. I think it was still right around 20 something dollars. So I went ahead and picked that up. Now also at Harbor Freight, I got just a pair of these inexpensive Hardy gloves. I think they're like $15. They have the knuckle paddings and things like that. They're camouflage. They're nice to shoot with because they're not bulky gloves. They have kind of a you know, kind of a tactical feel and whatnot like that. So I got that to hang on one of my plate carriers because I think I have one of my plate carrier setups needs a set of gloves with it. So there you go. If not, it'll go in one of my bags. And then I got a mirror here, one of these signal mirrors, and I'm going to cut it down and see if I can get it to fit in my wallet so that it's a wallet size one that can go with that really cool wallet Fresnel lens that Black Scout Survival sent me. So that being said, that was a good thing, and these were only $1 or $2. It's a good thing to get at Wally World, of course. Now, at Harbor Freight, you know what's interesting is I got this mask here. And I got it for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of things you can do with this. One, you can use it if you're training with airsoft or paintball, that kind of thing. You know, it was inexpensive, yet it's a full mask, yet the mask part can come off. So there's a lot of uses for this, even in working around the house if you're using the chainsaw or whatever like that. It's an anti-fog, detachable goggle, they call it, face mask. And, you know, it was like $6 or something like that. You know, for that, you can't beat it. They were discontinuing it, probably because of a newer model coming out or something like that. So I went ahead and got those. And anyway, you never know if for real a super coof comes around and stuff. It wouldn't hurt to have a face shield, right? And then they were also discontinuing these or clearancing them. These are their splash resistant goggles. And splash resistant has a lot of good uses, especially when you're working with chemicals and stuff, because it keeps things out of your eyes. So, and it's a nice big clear field of view, around the same price as the other face shield one, anti-fog, and you know, impact resistant. This is really a great thing to have too. You can put it in one of your kits. Or if you're working with stains or things like that around the house, you know, bleaches, like you're trying to, you know, sterilize water, etc. Let's see here. Got a little thing of tissue on the go at Wally World. Can't help that. You know, it's always good to have that in a pack. And I think I'm setting up a pack here soon that I'll be doing a video on for a family member. Also got some more of these little yeast packets, the Quick Rise and the others. And then, of course, you know, I'm getting some holes in some of my shorts, as you guys have seen. So got myself a pair of shorts. And and a t-shirt, right? Because we got to have our stuff prepared, especially if your other stuff's wearing out. Now, the other thing was, I couldn't help it. They got these in. They haven't had them in a long, long time, so the boat must have docked. And just like that other hatchet I showed you, this is an older style, but it's not a full-on pick. It's a small kind of Maddox with a pick on one end for, you know, digging out shelters if you need to, digging out a root cellar, you know, but mainly this is a smaller version for if you're out camping and stuff like that and you're just trying to prep the ground you're on, trying to build a hide, whatever it is. Having little tools like this that are compact, like that shovel that I saw you that my I don't know what you'd call them, great uncle, grandpa, whatever, Orlo made of a bigger shovel, right? I've been using that out in the garden in that compost thing, working out great. So anyway, one of these picks, inexpensive, you know, just a little over 15 bucks, and really, really handy tool, well built, something that's handy to use. It's small, right? And then I figured I got a couple pouches here that I'm going to make some trauma kits, right? Some IFAKs, some, you know, what I call basically more trauma IFAKs. They're kind of a little bit bigger than an individual IFAK, but not quite a full trauma kit, kind of somewhere in between. Got a couple neat bags here. One that opens down, has a bunch of compartments we'll go over, and we'll, as I'm going through my medical stuff, we'll start filling these up and make a couple extra medical packs. The other one's a little different because it has a mount system. The reason I got this has a mount system that can go on your plate carrier, and this can just be yanked off. So that's kind of handy too. Let's see, was there anything else? Oh yeah, I got some netting, because, you know, you never know when you could use some netting, and it's camouflage and you could see through it. So there'll be some uses that will come up from that. They had a clearance thing on that. And then I just got a couple zipper pulls made out of fire cord. To put on a couple different things, whether it's one on your jacket or on a tool that you use. They're really kind of handy. They're only a few bucks. Definitely something to grab. So, you know, but be careful when you're in those stores. You want to grab a lot of things. You'll see that I don't go and get whole bags and bags and bags full of stuff. I kind of think about things that I know I can use right away, and then when I come home, I put them where they need to go. So I hope that gave you guys some ideas of what to think about out there and what to be doing. I'm going to now go to the bank, do a couple errands, and then come back and work out in the garden. So until next time, stay safe, stay secure, always be aware of your surroundings. And if you've got it, wear it. And if you're wearing it, get out there and practice with it, not only for yourself, but for others. All right? Adios.